Okay, well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today. First, wanted to introduce ourselves. My name is Matt Peterson. I'm a relationship director with Maple LMS. I work very closely with our clients at Maple LMS to partner with them on training, education, and professional development programs, and to help them achieve their objectives around those education programs. Joining me today is my colleague, Avon. Avon, how are you today? Would you like to tell a little bit about your role at Maple LMS?
Doing good, Matt. Thanks for the introduction. My name is Avin. I'm a key account manager with Maple LMS. I also manage customer training involving any customers with Salesforce and customers who have never tried an LMS before. So yeah, just a short introduction about me.
Thank you, Avon. Just one housekeeping item. We encourage you to ask questions through the Q&A at the bottom of your screen, and we'll answer them either during the presentation or at the very end. So today we're going to be talking about why you should train your sales team with the Salesforce LMS. And before we get started, I just wanted to give a little background for those who might not be familiar, what Salesforce is and how Salesforce can be integrated with different systems, including an LMS, to provide a great user experience and great tools for your organization. Salesforce has become such an important tool for every organization that wants to be closer to its customers, prospects, and members. And it has developed an amazing marketplace of software called the App Exchange that enables organizations to extend the functionality into every division that may not already use it. It's a place where you can find software to perform any number of operations. And this turns Salesforce into a single point of entry for anyone in your organization who needs to interact with customers, prospects, or members, and probably most importantly, your sales staff. Integration is done with Application Programming Interface, or API, a bit of code that lets the two programs communicate and share data. Once the API is installed, you need to think about which data fields in your LMS that you want to push to Salesforce. The data will then exist in both platforms and will update real time when changes are made. Typically, this will include what course the user has completed, certifications earned, how they scored on assessments, and the like. So every software in the Salesforce App Exchange has been put through a rigorous review process to make sure it meets strict standards and best practices as an organization. And this includes learning management software that could serve as your learning software for your employees, customer training, or just employee onboarding. So you'll find Maple LMS on the App Exchange, as your system can work seamlessly with your current Salesforce environment. So today we're going to be discussing training a sales team using the Salesforce-integrated LMS. Avon, just wanted to turn it over. Did you have any opening thoughts about that topic today?
Right. And yes, Matt, that's actually a great topic. There are quite a few things that we'll be looking at in today's webinar. Common challenges that companies and organizations come across if they're not using a Salesforce integrated learning management system or a training portal as such, and then all the benefits and the key benefits involved in this process and what the integration has to offer.
Great, thank you for that. So Avon, I know you work with some clients who use our LMS to train their sales team. What are some of the challenges that they're facing if they have a current sales training platform that doesn't include the integrated LMS?
Right. And, in my experience, every organization using Salesforce and a training platform come across similar yet critical challenges. The biggest concern I see is the inability of these two systems to communicate with each other effectively. And that basically leads to other challenges. Now, we all know that sales is a fast-paced environment, and every organization wants to ensure their sales team is equipped with the right knowledge and information at the right time. Now, when that accessibility is unavailable for your sales team, they end up navigating through multiple systems, which is time consuming and eventually not an ideal user experience. In terms of challenges, there are quite a few challenges that an organization may come across, and it might be different for depending on the organization type. But some of these challenges, as you see on my screen, and I would like to highlight, are available on my screen. Firstly, many times, say if you don't have an LMS or a training platform which is integrated, say if you're using an individual or a standalone system uh, as your learning management system, and sales teams mostly are out there in the field. Again, they most of the times do not have access to up-to-date training content. So anytime you have new training content, you want your sales team to have access to that so that they can have that information handy. And again, any automated product or service related updates that are pushed on the LMS are generally not available for a sales team handy. So a couple of challenges around that, which basically leads to nurturing leads at the right time. Now, nurturing leads is always essential for every individual into sales, for an entire sales team. And LMS and Salesforce, as I mentioned, if these are separate systems, I mean, these are separate systems, but let's say if your LMS is not connected to your Salesforce, and if the systems do not talk to each other, they're basically working independently. And there are quite a few benefits that an organization is missing out on if that integration, if that communication between those two systems is not there. And some items around lack of training accessibility from Salesforce is also there. That is again one of the biggest challenge that many organizations sees, because most of the times, a majority of times, your sales team will be grouped into your Salesforce, working on your leads, prospect, and since your LMS does not talk to your Salesforce or communicate with your Salesforce, they lack on that training accessibility at the right point of time. So for an example, if I'm actively dealing maybe with a prospect or a lead, and if I need some information about that product or service, I'll have to jump into a different system, find that information, get back to my client. So it's not all within a single ecosystem if these two applications do not communicate with each other. And then lack of learning data in Salesforce to drive decision making. Again, most of the time, this could be relevant to your individuals as well, sales teams. So the learning data, if it's an LMS, if it's an individual LMS or a learning management system or a training portal, that data would basically reside in that portal, and that's generally not available in your Salesforce, again, if there's no integration is involved. So these are some of the critical sales training challenges that I see a lot with quite a few organizations, and pretty common in most use cases.
Great, thank you for that. How about when can a Salesforce integrated LMS do for an organization? What can it do for them? And as it relates to the sales training, and really what are the benefits to an organization?
Right. Salesforce LMS, or if your LMS integrates with Salesforce, basically that integrated system can do wonders for your organization. And mainly if we talk about sales team, there's a lot to offer within that integration, within that single ecosystem. Firstly, if we talk about contextual learning, now any courses designed for sales reps and that training modules, maybe courses, maybe e-learning courses, what the contextual learning would do with that integration is basically enable your sales rep to access all that training within the Salesforce ecosystem itself. So if I'm working maybe on a prospect, on a lead, and if I wanted to get some recommendations or find some similar courses, relevant information, or knowledge for that particular product or service that the prospect is interested in, that can be found straight away within your Salesforce. You don't really have to navigate into a different system and to find that information. It's already there with that integration. Secondly, if we look at some more benefits, it could be very helpful for on-demand training accessibility. So more like, offering an on-the-go LMS training, which is accessible through, again, within Salesforce, helps your sales representatives understand the challenges better and resolve them quickly. Eventually, that saves on time. So it could be as quick, like say if you're just actively working on a prospect, and if you wanted to get some on-demand training, or if the LMS would suggest an on-demand training, that would fall straight into your Salesforce, and your sales rep can get access to that right away. And some items around trainings that are tied to different stages in Salesforce. Now, what that refers to, again, goes back to the topic of engagement of an individual, of a sales individual with your prospect or a lead. So there could be certain training programs that are tied to products or services that you offer, and that is tied within Salesforce. Now, that would guide the sales team across different stages of the sales cycle and help them understand and close deals easily. More like, you say, recommendations through the LMS that are coming straight into your Salesforce, depending on what stage your prospect is. So again, I think you might have seen this use case and this scenario with some of our clients, right, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a sales director would be very wise to tie training of skills along with these stages. So if you're training your sales team on prospecting, what are the tools they have to uncover new prospects? Maybe when they get into qualifying the customer, talking about communication skills and discovery and listening skills. When we talk about closing the sale, maybe talking about ways to overcome objections. And so correlating your training with those different stages, I think makes a whole lot of sense.
Exactly. And that's exactly the use case for that. But again, one more benefit with that integration is automated email alerts. So sales reps can receive automated emails from the Salesforce LMS about upcoming training sessions and assignment submissions, deadlines, and stay focused and learn new items, new courses. Yeah. So some of the benefits are these, but there's definitely more to it, such as automatic course updates. Now, sales reps don't really need to look for new courses when product or service upgrade occurs. And this is often the case. Most of the times you might get new upgrades or updates on your product or service, and you want your sales team to be automatically notified about that. So again, this integration allows you to push any automatic course updates straight within the Salesforce itself. And any changes made on the LMS courses reflects on Salesforce that representatives can access anytime when they're logged in to Salesforce ecosystem. Now, another item would be a two-way data synchronization. Now, again, with a Salesforce integrated LMS, you do get a two-way data synchronization. As far as I know, Maple LMS certainly offers a two-way data synchronization with Salesforce, where the data from the LMS is written back to your Salesforce, as well as the data from Salesforce is coming in to the LMS. So that's more like a two-way integration. But sales reps can access any latest training programs with this two-way data synchronization between the LMS and Salesforce, and basically it prevents any data silos. Again, if we talk a bit about onboarding process for sales reps, that's also a great possibility with this integration. Quick onboarding into the LMS through Salesforce can happen again, with the help of a single sign-on. Now, learning programs are automatically assigned to sales representatives as soon as they get registered into the Salesforce. So let's say if there's a new individual, if there's a new sales representative joining the team, and they get registered on Salesforce, they get access to the LMS as well. With a single sign-on, they'll be redirected to the LMS. And again, based on their profile or their role, LMS will identify what courses have to be recommended to a new individual. And this is all that something can be designed within the LMS itself. But what the integration does is automate that process. So you don't really have to manually assign any specific courses or learning items to your new representatives, new individuals. LMS and Salesforce can do that automatically for you. Okay. And one more item that I'd like to highlight is about role-based suggested courses. Now, sales representatives get role-based course suggestions from the LMS as soon as they get registered into Salesforce, just something that we talked about earlier. But the benefit of that is it will boost their continued learning and professional growth, and will also support better lead management. Generally, an ideal use case for that would be, let's say, if obviously there are quite a few roles into a sales team. There could be a sales manager, a sales director, a team leader, and maybe a sales representative. So based on the role of that individual, LMS can automatically suggest recommended courses, recommended learning paths, or maybe learning items to an individual. Okay, so these are some of the benefits. There are certainly more to it. For example, if we talk a bit about knowledge base. Now, knowledge base is certainly one of the key items for every sales team, or in general for whether it be sales team or support team. Knowledge base is great and allows you to search and find relevant items, information within that knowledge base. So it's important to have that information handy, and it's important to get access of that knowledge base and the training materials into that knowledge base immediately. And what that integration will do is basically add the training materials from the LMS in Salesforce knowledge base, so that a sales representative can access it anytime, maybe to resolve issue, to maybe to provide support, sales support. And yeah, so that's one of the key benefits of that integration as well, and how the training materials would come in to your knowledge base. Yeah, and again, reporting and analytics dashboards, we just cannot deny how crucial these items could be for any organization, for any individual, or maybe a sales manager or a director. Everyone loves reporting and analytics. And the best part is every individual, or let's just say a sales director or a manager, can keep tab of the sales representative's learning progress, because any progress that I do within the LMS is written back to my Salesforce records. And it can be individual data, but certainly will allow you to create reports and analytics and put that on a dashboard for a 360-degree view. Now, this will also help managers and directors identify any areas of improvement for that individual, for that sales representative, and maybe their competencies with these reports and analytics. And yeah, so basically it's all about viewing the training data of an individual as well as your entire team on the Salesforce dashboard. And lastly, one of the most unique benefits is about social learning, where representatives can interact with other team members and exchange their experience, knowledge, also collaborate on certain projects, and basically interact with instructors or maybe sales managers, sales directors using a Salesforce LMS. Activities such as feedback, quizzes, group discussions and forums, chatter, and also integration with Slack. So that's also a possibility with social learning. These would basically quicken the communication between your team to resolve issues or communicate with each other. And I'm sure you've seen social learning, and I know you're a big fan of social learning, so I'm
Mhm.
sure you certainly have some thoughts on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these are great tools, particularly for the sales director. He or she should probably be leading the charge with this to provide synchronous communication to the sales team around training and progress. There's also opportunities to just create any kind of type of discussions around maybe a new skill learned. A director could even upload a video of them modeling some of the skills that are in the training um, to kind of show the team how to best use those skills in the future, and just creating discussions maybe around different sales managers, what their experiences are in the field, or an instance with a particular client, maybe an objection that was raised, and how to overcome it. So great tools in the LMS, and integrated with Salesforce to really keep your team engaged in the learning process, but also a great way to keep them motivated to want to learn more and more.
Absolutely. So yes, these are some of the key, some of the benefits that I'd like to highlight that's involved with this integration.
Yeah, so I think this is great. I think it might be great, even if you don't mind, just kind of recapping the main takeaways and the key benefits of having a Salesforce integrated LMS.
Absolutely. Key benefits. First and foremost, you're dealing with a sales team, and it's all about your sales training, developing the knowledge and experience and competencies of your sales team. Now, this integration will eventually lead to closing more deals. And how that would work is basically with the integration, when the system gets fully automatic based on recommendations, and basically what would happen is it would provide a better training engagement, and will help representatives learn easily and close deals faster, accessing the LMS right from Salesforce. Second key benefit would be about personalized learning that we discussed. Personalized training courses for sales representatives for different categories of products or services can be enabled. So any particular product or service that you have, you can create personalized training programs, personalized e-learning courses, and assign those in different ways. Variety of ways, could be learning paths, could be learning plans, or as such. And eventually, once you have a great training engagement, that would also lead to better customer retention. Now, the right training, when available within a Salesforce LMS, enables better customer retention, as your sales representatives can focus and resolve the most critical issues on priority. Yeah, and also I think one of the most important and most demanded benefit is sales enablement, which basically allows having all those training programs and learning items, courses right within Salesforce, which basically helps your sales representative find the right information at the right time while they're actively engaging with any of your customers, with any of your prospects. And also about video assessments or of sales calls, that's also a great benefit because all the training material is basically available on the LMS, and with the integration, it's accessible over Salesforce. Now, sales representative can refer these assessments or these video assessments mainly for, there could be a variety of topics such as cold calling, prospecting, negotiation, effective listening, problem solving, effective communications and emails, and many more items around that. So great video assessments can be created and provided straight to an individual sales representative with that integration. And then another benefit is that you get real-time feedback. So any sales representative can submit a feedback on their challenges and will allow you to address that using the built-in feedback collection feature in the LMS. So that's also a great benefit. And we all understand the importance of real-time feedback and how crucial that could be, how helpful that could be. Lastly, video-based learning is also one of the key benefits, such as micro learning sessions, where micro learning sessions with short videos can be created so that learning sessions get engaging for sales team without boring them with endless videos. So maybe short video topics, short video content on a variety of topics, emails, cold calls, prospecting, again, everything that involves around a sales process or competencies or skills. You can create micro learning through a video-based learning course. So these are absolutely some of the key benefits that an organization can achieve with a Salesforce integrated learning management system.
So that's great, Evan. One thing that kind of came to mind as you were kind of talking through this early in my management career, someone told me that, there's kind of 4 key steps in training someone. It's first, tell them how to do it. Then secondly, show them how to do it. Thirdly, allow them to do it. And then lastly, provide that feedback. So I think this has all those tools to make sure that happens. Secondly, I think also it really provides different opportunities to provide training in different formats. Everyone learns a little differently. So providing different formats of training and learning, and the follow-up and feedback that follows that, I think are great tools that people would find available in an integrated LMS. So great. The one thing that really jumps out on this page to me, those close more deals, right? If you're leading a sales team, the ultimate goal is more revenue, which is really the most beneficial benefit of this, and the goal of doing such training. So these tools will certainly help you to do that. A well-trained sales team will definitely produce better results. So
Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely.
okay, just look. I don't see any questions that we didn't answer today, but if anyone has any final questions, feel free to ask them. Otherwise, that will conclude our webinar today. We appreciate your attendance, and Evan, I really appreciate your thoughts and information on this. We can also visit our website. A recording of this webinar will be posted at a later time, so you can certainly watch that on demand. And if you want to continue the conversation with us to talk about how an integrated Salesforce LMS can really help your sales team, we're happy to engage with you, and you'll find our phone number and email below. So we look forward to hearing from you in the future. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much.